This is the first episode of the Windless City, and we are the Dungeon Masters. I'm Andrew.
Dalton.
My name is Eric.
Presley.
And we're the Dungeon Masters. Tonight, I'll be sitting in as Dungeon Master. This is our first campaign. Come back for future campaigns to see the rest of us Dungeon Master. We're all going to take turns, hence the term Dungeon Masters. All right, so for tonight's campaign, it's taking place in the Windless City, as you guys can see the map back here. And I am going to roll a dice to see whose intro we start with.
Might I just say, I'm very excited.
All right, so we are going to start with Dalton and Eric.
Fantastic,
All right.
fantastic.
So, you guys are out on a mission for the guild. You've been paid to go through and steal an item. So, currently, you are inside of a manor over on the outskirts of town. So you can see right here, number 6, it is Nightingale Manor. So the object you've been charged to steal is an ornate vase up in the master bedroom. All right, so Dalton, do you want to introduce and describe your character?
My character's name is Goo. He is a plasmoid rogue, and he grew up in the sewers of the Windless City. And now he is out to make a name for himself and become the greatest thief and rogue that everyone has ever known.
Gotcha. So
Excellent.
he has just squeezed his way through the lock hole of the master bedroom. And now he's going to unlock the door, and in walks Eric's character.
My character's name is Balthramar. Standing at a whopping 9 feet tall, he is a hulk of a man. He was born and raised on the upper part of the world, not necessarily down in the city. He was born on the surface, raised as a small farm boy, and raised to be in his family's business, but had some other plans,
All right.
which led him to work for the crime lords of the Windless City.
All right. Well, as you open the door and he walks in, you guys look around. It's a very ornate, almost antique bedroom set. Because for all of you that don't know in the audience, this takes place in a 20s, 30s setting in an underground city known as the Windless City. So everything's very much a 20, 30s steampunk aesthetic, but this seems more 1900s.
Interesting.
It's much older style. And you see there's a large bed with one of those hanging kind of sheets around it. Large portrait on the wall. The face on the portrait is actually torn, but you can see it is a armor-clad wizard. And there's a desk, and you don't see the vase. What do you guys do? Your information says it is in this room.
I walk in and brandishing my axe over my shoulder, I'm going to look at Goo and I'm going to be like, we were given the wrong intel. It was supposed to be here. And I want to just smash my axe into the floor in a blind rage.
I am Goo. I am Goo. I am Goo.
Yes, we've established this. Now, where's the vase?
I am Goo.
And Goo points at the portrait on the wall.
Okay, so you think there's something with the portrait. All right, well, what's your next move now that...
Goo walks up and investigates and see if there's any traps.
All right, roll
Or
investigation for me.
Ooh, first roll of the game, baby.
Of the campaign.
That's right.
Investigation as a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. All right. So what is the first thing you do when you start investigating?
Goo walks up to it and starts going around the portrait to see if
Okay.
it's actually like a door or any traps.
You feel it shifts slightly to the left. And you look down, and there's a small switch.
No traps.
No traps.
Okay.
All right.
Can investigate the switch.
You want to investigate the switch. All right. Roll for me. Investigation again.
While he's investigating the switch, Balthramar is just going to look at him and go, ah, very well, my gooey friend. We have found an
A
entrance.
7.
7. All right. You can tell it is indeed a switch.
What can you tell me?
I am Goo.
Very nice.
Yeah, he just points at the switch.
Balthramar pulls the switch.
All right, so you pull the switch. You see the bookcase slides open slightly, and there is a safe there.
Ooh.
So, what is your next move? What do we-
Being the most powerful man in this manor, he like adjusts his.
Goo goes up to the safe.
While he's talking.
Yeah, why?
Okay.
What do you think you're doing?
And he's gonna look for like any fault in the safe,
Okay.
like edges. Like if there's any little gap, he's gonna try to squeeze in.
Okay. So you're gonna try squeezing in.
If there is a possibility. If not, I'm gonna take out my tinkering tool.
So I'm gonna go ahead and tell you there is a small gap kind of between the hinges where the door's kind of offset. You can tell this safe is just as old, if not older, than the decor of the mansion. This security has not been updated in a very long time. So there is a gap. If you want, you can roll performance.
Okay.
And see what happens. No, I don't.
I'm still monologuing in the corner.
Okay.
Performance.
Yeah, what'd you get?
15.
15. All right, so you're now in the safe. You see a couple small pictures,
I do have dark vision.
couple
so
gold pieces, and the vase.
The
but-
vase is in there.
Yeah, but you're also in there, and the door's still shut.
Okay.
Balthamar is going to look and realize that Goo is no longer with him.
Okay.
And he's going to pull his axe out and go, "Brother, I will free you from your prison." And I want to hit the vase. Or I want to hit the
All right, roll strength for me.
I want, should,
I'm gonna say.
You just,
What did you get?
40, 17.
All right, so the safe only had an 11, so you passed with flying colors. You split the safe right in half. I am Goo.
Good to see you again, brother.
I am Goo.
he's like holding the vase from being broken.
Yeah, so you did shield the vase. However, I'm gonna have you roll damage.
This one Goo dies in the first episode.
And we're gonna half whatever damage he takes because it hit the safe first. So
Well-
you're gonna say half, but
Well, it's only a 1d8 since it was one-handed, so you're getting off easy. That's it, max damage. So 4?
you got a 4.
No, I get an 8, but half is max.
Okay, so you take 4 damage.
Goodness gracious, I'm already almost dead.
Are you really? Oh God. Okay, I'll be a little more gentle.
He only has.
So
We're
anywho,
level 1.
you're out of it. You have the vase, and you hear someone coming. What do you do?
What is that you hear?
And Goo. He points at the door.
You just hear footsteps coming up the grand staircase.
Yes, my gooey friend. And I put my hand on his back and I kind of like look at him, like shake it off and like, let us make our exit. And I walk towards the door where the noises are coming from.
All right. So you guys exit the door, I'm assuming, or are you just standing near it?
I'm just kind of standing at the door
I am
waiting.
like I have the vase, and I want to sneak like to.
Okay.
I'm following him, but I'm also going stealth mode.
Okay.
So if someone comes through the door, I'm in the shadows.
I'm not.
Okay.
I am standing chest out right in front of that door.
So you have the vase hidden, and you're hidden as well.
Yeah.
Okay. So the door bursts open. You see a very tall, maybe 6-foot gentleman.
26
Uh,
for stealth.
26. I was about to ask you to roll that in just a second. So he doesn't notice you. He does see you. He's very dapperly dressed. He is what would be considered outdated for this time period. His coat comes much longer than the short coats that are very common in this time period. He's carrying an ornate cane with a fox's head on it. He's got a top hat, and his features are kind of shadowed. It seems like he's almost darker than he should be for the lighting of the setting. He immediately looks at you and he goes, "What do you think you're doing in my house?"
Your house. I was under the assumption that this house was abandoned years ago.
No, I implore you, this is the Nightingale Manor. I am Slade Nightingale. This is my house.
Well, my name is Balthramar, and I don't care whose house you think this is.
He goes, "I don't have time for this," slams his cane down, and you see what looks like a wall of shadow fly at you. You are outside the mansion. You, however, see this happen, and you have no idea where he just went. What do you do?
Well, I rolled a 26 for stealth.
He still doesn't see you, but you're in the corner, and you just saw your friend basically poof out of existence.
Okay, is there... How high? Are we like on the first floor, second floor?
Second floor.
Second floor.
Yeah.
Okay,
There is a window in the room, if that's what you're thinking.
yeah, but
Okay.
we're on the second floor.
Okay.
Can I? My big say, is the window open?
No, it's It's shut. You all entered through the door.
Okay. Is it just him?
It's just him.
Okay, with my stealth, I want to try to slide past him.
All right. So roll another stealth check for me.
Natural 20.
All right. You go right past him. He does not see you, and you are now
That's
in the
a
hallway.
27.
To the left, you see another window is slightly cracked. To the right, you see the grand staircase leading down to the doorway. What's your next move?
I'm on quickest way out.
Quicker would be the window, but that would also be gravity.
Okay.
So,
So I'm gonna stealth, just keep going stealth, taking
Okay.
my time,
gotcha.
keep going down to get to the first floor and out.
Gotcha. So the second you walk out the door immediately is pushed by some unseen force, slams shut behind you, and you hear your voice say, "Stay out of my house." So, all right.
To
So-
me?
Yeah. So he saw you the whole time. He was just letting you go.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because the base is inside me.
Yeah.
It's inside of me?
Yeah.
You stealth so well that he doesn't know about the face, but he did see you.
Okay.
So,
Yeah,
all right.
I literally like absorbed it.
All right. So you've left the house.
Can I see him now?
Yeah, you're just standing out in the front lawn like, what just happened?
I'm like, Goop, can you believe the audacity? He had the... what do I even say right now? This
You just-
man had the audacity to kick me out of what he's claimed to be his house.
You just see Goo's chest like slightly open. You see the vase inside. And he goes, "I am Goo," and he just starts walking.
All right. So are you walking back to the guild?
Very
Yes.
well, my dark friend.
All right. Do you go with him?
Just axe on shoulder, follow him.
All right. So for brevity's sake, we skip to the guild. You show up. It is sort of a rundown building. About 3 stories. It is very much practicality over looks. It's not a very fancy building. There's a sign over it, and it just says the Windless City Guild. Kind of crooked. There's some magical lights on it that an artificer put on it that were supposed to be fully illuminated behind the letters. They're kind of flickering. You can tell whoever did this did not do a good job. So
Nice.
you walk in the guild, and you've got a reception counter to your right. There is a half-elf behind the reception counter. Her name is Penny, and that is who you normally return the bounties to. So, do you go somewhere else in the guild to try and explore, or are you going straight to her?
Before we go into the guild, I want to make sure nobody's following.
Oh, you're still outside. Okay, roll a perception.
Well, I didn't want to interrupt you.
No, you're good.
Yeah, no. That's a 10.
All right, so you very anxiously look to the shadows, wondering if this shadowy man might be following you, but you don't see anything.
I'm so freaked out about him talking to me.
I'm gonna open the door and go, Jessica, it's nice to see you again.
She's like, "It's Penny. For the 5th time, it's Penny.
Okay, Jessica.
That's just today."
Goo's gonna walk up
Okay.
and put it on the cabinet.
She
Or
like,
the desk.
she like gently picks it up
It's
with
like
2
clean.
fingers.
It's
And
like
she's like
clean.
inspecting it for goop, like, where is it? She like looks down in it, she tells it's clean, she puts it back down. She's like, "Well, alright. Did you run into any trouble on your mission?"
There was a man who made me dark.
I am Goo. I am Goo. I am Goo.
I'm just gonna write down no trouble. And you see she just writes down no trouble. She takes the paperwork, stamps it, and she hands you both 10 gold pieces. So
Thank you, Stacy. And I walk out.
she's like, wait, I have another mission for you. If you're willing to take it today.
I turn her. I stop in the doorway. I turn around and I'm like, another.
And I'm like, this is going to be a reoccurring client. He is hiring someone for investigations, and we thought you would be a good client for it, Goo. And he's also looking to hire some muscle to protect the group. Balthamar, we thought you'd be a good fit for the position. Since you already worked together today, we also figured, maybe you already had some group chemistry going on. Would you guys be interested in taking it?
Well, if
I
he's
am Goo. You ask how much.
Oh, he asks how much. So you see, she gets out her Goo translation book, and she's flipping through it, and she's like, I'm not sure how much he weighs.
I'm gonna go.
Goo holds up a gold coin and points at it.
He's like, oh, yes, payment. So he's willing to pay per investigation. It's actually the local detective, Frank D. Fortune. You may have heard from him You may have seen the pamphlets that they pass around the city. We know he has a reputation of being a little bit of a loon, a little bit of an outsider, a little bit of a, what's the word for it? Crazy conspiracist is the nicest way I know to put it. But he does pay well when missions get received because they ultimately pay him and you'll just get a cut of it. So it depends on the mission. The first one here looks like it would pay about 50 gold. It's just an investigation.
Well, if he's looking for muscle, there's none other on this planet that can match the Balthramar.
And good.
She's like, if only your brain was this large. All right, and she hands you the paperwork for the mission, and it's got a map. You can see it takes you over to, we've got the Crook's Corner Mob District is down here at 3. It is just on the line between it and our green section here, which is the Church of Nama, the religious district. So, you guys, do you set out on your way, or do you do anything else first?
Healing potion.
What about a healing potion? You just drink one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I hit him.
We'll say the guild provides you a healing potion. You use it, you're back to full health. It was just complimentary because you looked pretty banged up.
Here we go.
I throw the empty flask or bottle of the health potion at him.
Oh, I thought you were going to throw it at Penny.
No.
I'm gonna go, thank you, Veronica. And I'm gonna turn around and walk
She's
out.
like, it's Penny! You see her pulling her hair. Also, I want you to roll to hit to see if you hit him with the bottle.
Oh, that's called.
Alright, what'd you roll?
Just a dex. That will be 18.
18. What is your AC?
18 does hit.
Alright, so... Oh, good. I rolled low. You get 1 point of damage.
So,
Like I just, as you're walking away, Goo just.
And it just sails through the air, hits you right in the back of the head. Little bits of healing potion draped down your neck, so it heals most of the damage, but you're left with 1 health point.
Balthramar doesn't even flinch. It just shatters across the back of his head. He turns around, he's like, that almost tickled. And then,
Alright.
shall we?
And as you walk out the door, Penny looks over at the guildmaster. He's an elderly man sitting in a chair in the corner, and she's like, why did you let them in? And he's just like, entertainment. Alright. So, we're going to, for brevity's sake, say you all go over to meet with Frank D. Fortune. This is where we are going to leave you and transition to Presley. Do you want to introduce your character?
Sure. My character's name is Tony Upbringer. His nickname is Triggerfinger, and he grew up, and he was actually born into an extremely rich family, but his parents threw him away and just completely left him for dead, basically. And he was like an orphan. What? What?
You got thrown away?
Keep going.
We're going to roll with it. I'm going to incorporate that. Continue.
He was basically thrown away. Anyways, he by the age of 17, he was already joined the mafia, and he dedicated his life to becoming and like making a name for himself and become like one of the best criminal masterminds ever.
Gotcha. Alright. So, this is where we pick up in the stronghold of the Orcavini family. The Orcavini family lives down here in, let's see, it's the Crook's Corner, which is section 3. So right here on this yellow and blue section, there's a small district of sort of warehouses. It's right near the docks, so they've got easy access to the sea. Now granted, the sea is underground like the Windless City, so it doesn't have many destinations. It's mostly meant to connect to mining facilities for the dwarves. So they kind of play as a middleman, kind of taxing these miners. So that's the main thing they do, but they're a very controlled crime family. Think mafiosos. So
Gotcha.
we pick up with the main character, Tony Orcavini. He looks at you, and as you walk into his room, and he says, my boy, I pulled you out of the garbage, and this is how you show me your gratitude.
What did I do wrong?
You know very well what you did wrong. We gave you a mission, and you blew it. I'm back here every day trying to keep the boys from eating you. They say you look like a little white piece of chicken, and they just want to grill you on a pike. And I say, no, say I. No, we're not going to grill him. He's got potential. But every single time, every time you blow it up, I got one more chance for you, boy. Don't blow it.
I won't, sir.
It's like, that's what I like to see. He says, all right. So we've got this character. He reaches out to us. His name's Frank D. Fortune, some kind of conspiracist kind of character, all right? And he
he wants somebody on the criminal side to incorporate with his business, his current outings. He basically wants somebody that has connections to work with him. We normally we wouldn't give this any thought today. Somebody reach out to us for help, but we know he's been looking into a lot of the going on of the city, so we're gonna humor him and we're gonna send you, and you are gonna be our eyes and ears inside of his investigation. If you see anything, you sees a single thing point back to the family, do something about it. I trained you what to do. Does not necessarily mean a lead casket immediately. Remember, there is such a thing as discrepancy. Alright? But you look out for the family while you're there. Report back to me. Send me a letter. Alright?
I will.
You remember the letter pigeons?
Yes.
Alright, send me a letter pigeon every once in a while. Let me know what's going on. He's gonna pay you. We'll take a small cut. You know the deal. Alright? It's the family tax. The family's gotta pay the family tax. If we don't pay it, nobody will pay it, alright?
And he hands you the pamphlet. God, that's killing my voice.
It's a phenomenal character, though.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
And you start to walk out. And I just realized I forgot to give the description of Tony Orcavini. So he is a 7.5 foot tall orc. Massive brooding man in a full black suit. He's got a white tie, a black shirt, and he's got a little pocket square, a little flower lapel pin. He is dressed very classy, very upper class, which does not go well with his very uncivilized orcish manner that he tends to act in. And he is pretty much known and feared throughout the city, as well as the rest of the Orcavini family, which is basically just an entire crime mafia of orcs, and then they have what they call the small meat, which would be Presley. So yeah, he hands you the same paper that they received.
5'11" white boy.
And you start to leave, and he says,
Hold on a second, I got something for you.
and he comes over and he's like,
We had this come in. Somebody owed us some money, and we sort of, as a down payment on one of the late fees, took this from him, among other things. It's a little big for the boys.
and he hands you a switchblade.
And he goes, some kind of magic on it, I don't know. It looks like a toothpick. And when I try and use it, I tried to use it on my teeth. It messed up my nose for like an hour. I don't know. And then it went back. I don't know. He says, you just take it. Maybe it'll be some use to you.
And he hands you a magic switchblade. Basically is the exact same attack power as a dagger. It's just flavored, and it does have a magic to it. It takes about 10 minutes to attune to it. And if you want, I can say you do that while you walk.
Alright.
Alright, cool. So, do you want to do anything else while you're here, or you want to head on over to the detective agency?
I said let's just head over.
Alright, so you head over, and as you start to walk up, you see these two characters, a tall black plasmoid, and how tall are you again?
I think I said I was.
Like medium, probably.
Yeah.
Alright, so you see a medium plasmoid, all black, and a giant hulking man with just an axe just kind of swinging
I'll
around.
say I'm my height. I'm 5'8".
Gotcha.
I'm 9 foot tall.
just standing outside as you walk up. So you guys see him walking up, just this mafioso character in a suit and red tie, just all classed out. Do you guys say anything to each other?
I'm gonna lean over to Goo. I'm gonna go, look, they brought in the big guns, and I'm gonna kind of nudge him, but because he doesn't really understand how strong he is, it kind of throws him a little bit.
I'm gonna have you roll acrobatics just to see how much you fling him.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, Goo
That's
doesn't.
a natural 20.
Natural 20. Okay.
Goo doesn't really move or move like he's wanting to. He just pushes his body, and
Gotcha. So I'm imagining you know those boxing things that you punch and they hit the ground and come back up.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna make you take any damage, but you just right on the ground and then right back out.
They brought the big guns.
Yeah, you just see him just splat and come back up. Do you
I'm
retaliate or say anything to him, to his comment that you very much would have heard as you walked up?
Oh, I heard it?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not trying to hide it.
I just brush off the shoulder like I didn't even hear it.
So you just don't say anything, you just walk right
No.
in? Alright, do you guys follow him in? What do you do now?
Well, I suppose if he's here, this is where we are meant to be. Shall we, my friend?
I am good.
Alright.
All right.
You guys walk in, you see It's got one window at the back of the room with some blinds, lights kind of coming through it sideways from one of the street lights outside. The room almost seems gray, like it seems like there's some kind of magical effect that's taking some of the color out of the room. You see a man sitting at a desk. He's got a he's got a magical typewriter, and he's clicking away on it. You see like a crystal slides over paper, and it goes shink back across, back and forth, and he's just typing something away. This man is Philip. He is the assistant of Frank. He looks up when he sees you all come in, and he goes,
Oh, they're here! They're here! Frank, they're here!
you see a man walk out of the back room. He's sort of brooding. Just the look on his face just looks haggard and looks like he's just upset for no reason. And just kind of a sour look. He's got a trench coat on. He's got a pair of goggles on, and I actually have a picture for you on the show of this one.
I would like
Because-
to describe Goo, how he's standing.
Okay, yeah, go ahead while I get the picture here.
So
for you.
he has one hand in his pocket on his vest, and he has the Gooper dagger just
Yeah.
swinging around his finger.
Nice.
Just
Okay.
sitting.
This is the help I asked you to hire.
And he's like, "Yeah, boss, this is him." And I'm pretty sure that's a totally different voice than what I did for Phil before, but it's what we're moving forward with. All right. So he walks
It's your
up,
world, man. We're just in.
and he's like,
I need names and information.
he just looks at you.
My name is Balthramar. I am 300 pounds.
I asked for muscle.
I am Goo.
That. All right, I've got a name. I need information, boy.
I am Goo. I am Goo. I am Goo Goo. I am Goo.
I speak 5 languages. None of them are good. Does anybody know what he's saying?
My friend here says
Oh, he's saying I was hired for investigative work, and I'm a good thief.
he said that he was hired alongside me, and he's very good at taking things that don't belong to him.
All right, so this mission we're gonna try and stay on the right side of the law. We have sort of a gray relationship with the law around here. I'm more worried about bringing people to justice than I am following all the rules that the church would like us to follow, that they impose on our city.
Sure.
But, you know, the church. You don't know the Church of Nama?
I know the Church of Nama.
Okay, well, they.
Goo looks at what are you saying?
Balthramar.
Balthramar and does this when he mentions the church.
Yes, my small friend.
I'm not sure what that means. We're gonna move on. Anyway, we've got an investigation. There's been a lot of people turning up missing as of late, and it's no unusual circumstance for people in the Windless City to turn up missing, but
So glad the camera's not on now.
It's been a exceptionally large number lately. And as you can see, he holds up a couple wanted posters. They're on the thing over there. But you can see there are various people of different classes, races missing. You see a dwarf that's missing. It looks very aristocratic. Looks like he might be running a mining facility. Someone that's not actually getting his hands dirty, more so telling other people what to do. You see an upper class woman. You see another upper class man. Both half elves. It seems like the richer upper class of the city are going missing, and that's causing a stir. So when he looks at you, he says, a lot of times the little ones go missing, and people don't say much for the little guy. But now that the big ones are coming, I've got people hiring me. Normally I just take on any case, but this one's personal to me. My friend Thomas has actually gone missing. He's an old friend. He's believed to be dead. I don't know if I believe that or not, but I've been hired to find him, and I brought you all on to help me find him. And he looks over at you, Presley, and he says, you didn't say your name yet.
Tony,
Tony. What's your deal, Tony?
from the. I come from the Okavici family.
Ah, gotcha. You don't look very orcish yourself, but you definitely look like you dress the part. All right, so you're the inside man they sent me. I have a bit of a reputation with the criminal element of the city. They don't trust me too much. You put a couple of them behind bars for murder, and they stop talking. So that's why you're here. All right, you're gonna be my eyes and ears into situations where they won't listen. Not that these guys couldn't do it. Well, I guess he literally couldn't do it. He doesn't speak common. But
I am Goo.
you know, when you hire muscle, you only get muscle. So
I have no idea what you were referring to. Not only is my physical physique unmatched, so is my mind.
I bet.
I am Goo.
Yeah, you see my point, boy. So yeah, that's why you're here. Now, I've got a couple leads. He lives over by a cafe on 31st, over here in the Crooks Corner. The what's it called? Forgetting my own names. The Merchant's Menagerie. It's the Mercantile District up in town. He lives in front of a coffee shop. He owns several of the buildings. He's sort of a landlord in the area. There's somebody that's taken over in his place. They've already assumed him dead. She might know something. Some of his acquaintances might know something. I hear there's somebody over in the church he speaks to quite often. Not sure what her name is. They might know in that part of town. If y'all want to start looking into it, if you want, I could show you the crime scene, so to say, where he was last seen. There's no body, but it looks like there was quite a scuffle. I've already looked over it, but I can take you there. It's pretty much the leads I have to start with. What you guys got any ideas? I think a fresh set of eyes might be good on this. Where do you think we should start?
My eyes are the freshest. Show me.
Show you what?
I am Goo. I am Goo.
The-
I am Goo.
The crime
I am
scene.
Crime scene. All right. Was that from you or was that from him?
I looked at him and was telling him the crime scene. The crime scene.
Gotcha.
It
All
is
right.
from my small friend here.
Gotcha. So one's got a mouth, one's got a brain. All right, let's go down to the crime scene. he waltzes right out the door, and
That's pretty good.
he looks back and he's like, "Are you coming?" And you see him. He pulls up his goggles, puts them on, and starts walking down the alleyway.
At this point, I would like to ask the dungeon master,
Yeah.
with my keen mind, what time of day is it?
What time of day is it? About around midday.
Around midday?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because you've already done a mission. You started
Yeah,
first
very
thing in the
nice.
morning.
Yeah.
Seems about right.
I got you.
You know, and that's about when. I'm sorry. What's your character's name again?
Tony Upringer.
Tony, yeah, Tony. So yeah, that's about when Tony wakes up, when one of the orcs finally throws something at him, and they're like, "Get out of bed, you lazy bum!" And he comes out and he starts working. So yeah, it's about noon. I'm kidding. I'm throwing some shade at you.
Is there any writing around?
Any writing?
Like letters or anything around me?
Like
That I can freely grab and look?
inside
Any
Frank's office?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
there's
anything.
There's the pile of paperwork on Philip's desk that he's working on with his typewriter.
I just grab the top piece of paper and look at it.
So you just pull it right out of the typewriter. It's like you just start looking
like
for it.
free, like
Oh, okay.
just laying.
So you take the piece of paperwork he just finished spending the last 10 minutes on, pick it up off the desk, and he just looks at you in horror like, what is happening right
And
now?
I'm just going to memorize the letters,
You memorize the letters?
like how they're written and how they are,
Okay.
and then I set it back how it was, and then I walk away.
He just picks it up and he like flicks a little speck of black goo off of it, and he's like, what?
You're quite a strange fellow.
And then I want to makeshift my pseudopod, make it in the same shape and the same size as the paper and the letters.
Your pseudopod? What's that? Is that like your...
I
your
can
body?
make a
his
pseudopod
goo.
that's 10 feet long, 6 inches wide.
It's his goo arm.
That's my goo arm.
Oh, so you like make your arm into floating letters?
Yes.
And what do you say with these letters?
I'm studying the letters so I can start talking to other people with writing.
Oh, you're trying to learn the language.
Yes.
Okay, well, this is a list of city fines that have come to the office because Frank refuses to abide by city ordinances when he goes out onto crime scenes. So
More
all
than
it
one.
is, it's just legal litigation and angry responses from Philip about how they feel like this is unfair and they're willing to negotiate on a more fair price, but they won't be paying this. So that's... Your vocabulary consists of words like unfair, tax ordinance, things like that at this point.
This is going to become Bumblebee.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you've got some really...
That's funny.
yeah. So, okay. So, do you guys follow Frank at this point?
Yeah, I just
Alright.
follow him out the
You
door.
you see my pseudopod spell unfair in the air, like
Uh,
cursive, unfair.
I kind of I nudge Tony on my way out, and I'm like, sorry, I didn't see you there.
He just grins and shakes his head.
I follow him. My
Alright.
pseudopod comes back into my body.
And you see Frank. Frank kind of looks over his shoulder as he's walking and sees you see with the word unfair, and he's like, "The city is unfair, boy. Never gets any better." And he just keeps walking.
I follow him.
Cloak still, I mean not cloak, trench coat billowing behind him for just some unseen reason.
There's no wind here.
Yeah, there's no wind at all. I'm gonna go ahead and be candid with you all. I have flavor texted the cloak of billowing for his trench coat, so it will always just be billowing in unseen wind as he's just dramatically looking into the distance.
You may not compare to me, my friend Goo, but that is a good-looking man.
Frank looks back at you and he's like, just keeps walking. He's like,
I am good.
looks don't get you much in this city.
Clearly, he's never been me before.
The
I can be
pseudopod
so
comes
fortunate
out.
to live in ignorance. And just keeps walking.
After he says that, the pseudopod comes out and writes, ha ha.
So-
And then comes back in.
yeah. Okay. All right. So, you guys, for brevity's sake, unless anybody wants to add anything right now. All right.
Just following.
We walk through a series of alleyways and streets. You see he's not really taking the main streets. He is like leading you all through alleyways. You get to the merchant district a lot quicker than you would expect to, because it's a decent distance across the city.
He likes this.
Yeah, he leads you into an alleyway beside this coffee shop. It says, I forget what I named her, so we're going to come up with a new name. Teresa's Coffee Shop on it. And inside you see a barista. She is serving coffee out of some magical apparatus. Kind of looks like espresso machines today, but instead of hooked up to any sort of electrical source or anything, it's just a bunch of magical crystals jammed of different various colors in this thing. And coffee's coming out. So she's serving customers, and you walk into the alleyway on the side, and Frank goes, "This is where he was seen last. I already did a once-over of the crime scene. Didn't really find anything." He's like, "You're welcome to investigate yourself. I feel like you'd have more opportunities going elsewhere." He pulls down his mask a little bit, and you see his eyes are glowing blue, and he says, "I've been cursed with true sight, and let's go of it." And the mask snaps back up shut. He goes, "This helps me focus, but I pretty much see what I'm looking for. I don't see anything around here."
I rolled an 18 for
Roll.
investigation.
All right, so you look around, and it seems clean, the area. Suspiciously clean for an alleyway, like someone has come through and scrubbed for evidence.
But is there any, like, because of me being a thief and a criminal, is there anything?
You, like I said, you don't see anything left
I
behind.
just know it's been clean, like.
Someone has done something here to get rid of evidence, is what you've deduced.
Okay.
Yeah. And
I look at him and go, I am goo, I am goo, I am goo.
My friend says that he thinks that someone has scrubbed this place clean of any crime. And I do concur.
it makes sense. It would make sense. It's not the first crime scene, so to say, that's been like this. I've had various reports where there's a body. I show up, there's no body.
Can I investigate?
Yeah, you're welcome to.
So,
I rolled a 2.
Rule of 2.
Wait,
You can tell that this is indeed an alley. and-
technically? Oh,
Yeah. You can tell it's indeed an alley, and that the
His
only
walls.
thing present that is dirty is a little bit of homeless man pee, and you only discover that by slipping and falling in it because you rolled a 1.
What? Is there anything else, like, around? Like, is there anything I could pick up?
There is indeed a dumpster from the coffee shop.
Okay. I want to go, like, once I get up, I'm going to be like,
Yeah.
well, no wonder it's hard to see any evidence in here. It's too daggum dark. I want to pick up the dumpster and cast light on the dumpster.
So,
I
now glowing, you see several raccoons hop out of the trash can, running and screaming. They're entirely blinded by this light, so they're just slamming into walls everywhere. One of them completely faints and is just laying in the alleyway beside you now.
I'm like, funny creatures they are. What can you see?
I want to look for, like, any secret door.
Secret door?
Like, if they're, trying to get away with a body. There has to be like a secret entrance to somewhere.
There is no secret entrance, but there is a sewer grate.
There is.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm gonna look at what's his name? Frank?
Yeah.
I'll look at Frank and go, I am Goo, and point down.
He's like, he looks down. He's like, yeah, I don't get my boots dirty in the sewers very often, but well, you got an idea?
And how far is the sewer? Like, how far down does it go?
10, 15 feet, but there is a ladder.
Okay, I'm gonna like just go through the grate and get on the ladder and go down.
All right.
But
Frank
cautiously, I'm gonna look around while I'm going down.
All right. Frank looks at the other two of you. You see, he doesn't even open the grate. There is just like a little gap in the manhole cover, and he just goes right through it. Frank looks at the two of you, and he goes, yeah, y'all have fun. I'm gonna go get a coffee. Teresa over here, whatever her name is, she was the last one to see him alive. I'm gonna go question her. Y'all are welcome to come with me, or you're welcome to go dig through the poop. And he walks into the coffee shop. So, what do you guys do?
I will not stand for this. I want to just, as hard as I can, throw the dumpster, like, down the alley.
Oh, where? Like, at Frank? Or
No, just, like, I'm going to, like, go to follow Frank, but before I go to follow him, I'm just going to, like, hurl this thing.
Alright, roll to hit.
Hit what?
Just roll to hit.
It's another freaking 2. Wait,
Plus your strength.
5?
5. Alright. This dumpster narrowly misses the passed out raccoon, but it does entirely shave its tail off. It wakes back up, starts screaming, and faints again. Alright.
And keep in mind, it's still illuminated. So this light dumpster just goes boom, 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 down the alley.
If you had rolled higher, you would have entirely crushed the raccoon. He made it out pretty easy. What do you do? Tony.
Don't.
First of all, he dies.
Basically.
Like smells
Have I already tuned to my switchblade?
Yeah, okay. So I'll run through the effects of it real quick. Just for anyone listening right now, I did give everyone one magic item. Dalton, or Goo, has a dagger that I have very thoughtfully named the Gooper. Basically what it is he can squeeze through a 1-inch slot as a plasmoid, but he can't typically carry Goo with him. This dagger, for all intents and purposes, is a regular dagger. However, it is made out of a gelatinous substance, and unless you grip the handle firmly, kind of wiggles around. But when you grip it, it turns hard as steel. And it's just entirely made of gel. It's just a wiggly dagger that can slip through slots along with it. Yeah. The Gooper. Instead of dagger, it's Gooper.
Very nice.
Yeah. Presley, you will have learned that yours is called the Switch-Up Blade. It is basically a normal switchblade. Does the same damage as a normal dagger, along with whatever your stats would add to that. However, it does have a magical effect. If you stab yourself with it or an ally with it, instead of doing normal damage, you can roll to do 1 point of damage, but you switch up their features, giving them a +1 to stealth, and what was the other thing I said it did earlier? Shoot. Deception. Because you literally switches up your features. If you'll remember earlier, your mob boss father, Orkovici, said that he poked himself with it and it messed up his nose for an hour. It literally does that. It changes your facial features for 1 hour, but in trade-off, you take 1 point of damage. It's not a big buff, but it might be interesting for a stealthy criminal type.
Could give you big ol' nose.
Big
Yeah.
old snob.
You can
Very
also
hustling.
use it as a normal magical dagger, and if you want, you can do the same effect to an ally, getting 1 additional point of damage on them, along with whatever you roll, but they will also get a +1 to deception and stealth on you for the next hour. So,
So it's a win-win.
probably. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So, normal dagger, +1 with a cool effect. Alright, so you've attuned to the dagger, and what did you say you were going to do? Are you going sewers or coffee shop?
Excited.
There's no way I'm going down there.
Alright, so you follow after Frank and Balthroar? Alright.
Yes.
So we're going to skip to the sewers at this point. Excuse me. So you slide down the ladder.
Stealthily.
You stealthily slide down the ladder. The only sound you make is a subtle as you slide downward on the ground. You look around, it's such a dark tunnel with sidewalk kind of ledges, lips on either side, and some glowing green sludge water is flowing through it. Not normal water, not really sure why. It's sludgy and green. This is not something you normally see in the sewers. And that's your surroundings at this point. You can see about... Do you have dark vision?
Yeah.
Alright, how
Up
far?
60 feet.
So you see 60 feet in either direction. About 25 feet to your left, there is a turn. About 25 feet to your right, there is a turn in the opposite directions. You are sort of in a junction with two things going either way.
Do I want to investigate again?
Okay.
Is there any, like, blood, anything?
Alright. So, roll investigation for me. What did you get?
That'd be 16.
16. You do see a faint piece of crimson fabric off in the distance.
As our dungeon master is rummaging through boxes.
I have an actual clue. And I tried to throw it to them and it didn't quite make
I
it.
wish you all could see what's happening.
Got to about
sewage water!
the tips of our sheaves.
So it does look like a piece of crimson fabric. I'll let you inspect that and tell the others what...
It looks like a piece of crimson fabric.
Well, I guess you can't really tell the others what you see. I know it smells like paint. You're going to have to pretend like it's not paint because I asked them at Hobby Lobby if they had any fake blood. The elderly woman in the Hobby Lobby vest looked at me quite shocked, and I told her, no, it's for a murder mystery thing. She continued to look confused and led me to the paint aisle. So,
Alright.
yeah, it is a piece of crimson fabric, very high class, high kind of wealthy material. It's not something that a normal peasant would have as their garb, and it has some blood on it.
Alright. I want to take it
Yeah.
and then go back up.
You go back up. All right, so you go back up the ladder. We're going to switch to what you all were doing while he was sussing around in the sewers, and we'll bring you in a minute, just kind of the time pass. All right, so you guys walk into the coffee shop. He walks up to Teresa, and he's like, I'll have a coffee. And she's like, black, and he's like, don't put milk in it. I'll spit it out. And she makes him a coffee, hands it to him. He goes, chugs the whole thing, slams it down. Piping hot. And he just grimaces a little and goes, the world's bitter.
Man
Alright.
is a monster.
And he goes, that's Teresa. She, last one to see him alive.
Well, Teresa, being the smartest and the best one in this company, I would like to ask you some questions. And I sit down at the bar with like a log, like,
Here we go again.
like barely, like the stool's like barely holding me up.
Do you have to roll a saving throw for the chair?
I love that. The chair goes, and roll a saving throw. I'm going to make that Constitution.
The chair rolls the throw, or I roll
You
the throw?
roll the throw.
For what? What
Just-
saving?
You know what? Just roll a d20. Just
6.
I rolled for the chair. It got a 17. It completely shatters in half. You land in the floor. What do you do?
Well, seeing as I'm 9 feet tall, if I'm sitting on the floor, my shoulders are probably still above the counter. Like, how tall would you say the counter is? Like a good, like, 4 foot tall, maybe?
Yeah, like a 4.5 foot counter. So you're still above the counter. You're like at normal height still. For,
Yeah, so like it
patron.
just goes, just stone faced, and I'm like, what is the last thing you remember?
Teresa just looks at you and goes, where'd the pole go?
The pole.
She's like, don't worry about it, honey. I'll fix it. But she says, however, normally when people want information, they buy coffee.
Give me a round then.
A round of coffee.
A round of coffee.
Like a round mug? You want a round mug? She goes, I don't have any square mugs. And she goes to the back, she gets out a coffee mug, fills it with coffee, sits down, she'll be like, that's a silver piece, doll.
I like, I flick her a gold.
And she's like, all right. And she goes to the back, she goes, I did have a square mug. I lied. She pulls it, pours your coffee in, and goes, you paid extra, you get the square mug.
Thank you.
She's like, sorry I lied to you. I just don't normally use it. It's harder to clean.
He drinks it, and he puts it back down, he's like, alright, now that I've bought your bitter tasting drink, you will answer my questions, yes?
Yeah, doll, I'll answer your questions. Just give me a moment. You see she turns around, she starts washing a plate.
I say, no, you will acknowledge me now, and I like, like slam my fist onto the onto the counter.
Roll a strength check.
Oh, God.
11.
All right. So I'm gonna say that was enough, just for the sake of the fun. And the square coffee cup that you just downed shakes a little bit, falls off the counter, and shatters. So she goes, "It was hard to clean anyway. You made my day easier." She turns around. She's like, "All right. I'll tell you what you need to know." And she's like, "So I saw him about 3 days ago. He disappeared. Come in. He got as usual. One of the French baguette thingies or whatever. I guess they wouldn't know what French people are in this world. She's like, one of the elven baguette thingies, you know." And I guess elves are French now. So she's like, the butter from the cow, and coffee's real up class. And he had it, a little small talk, talking about his day. He had to go meet some alchemist up at the church. And afterward, he walks outside. I see a chariot pull past, and it stops right in front of the alley. And chariot pulls away. About 10-15 minutes later, he's gone. Nobody's seen him since. And at that point, you would walk into the coffee shop.
Well, this is very interesting now that you say this. I will relay this to the rest of my company.
I am Goo.
And they're all standing there.
I stand up.
I walk over to
Some ball falls. Continue.
I turn and I go, company.
I walk up to Frank and hand him the crimson.
He goes, "Oh, that's not good.
What is that you have found, my
That's not good at all."
gooey friend?
I am Goo. I am Goo. I am Goo. I am Goo.
He said that he went down into the sewers and he had found this piece of cloth? What is its purpose?
I am Goo.
Well, we should find out. What do you think, Tony?
He's like looking down at you.
First off, don't do that.
Your tie is red. This cloth is red.
What does that have to do with anything?
Color association.
That makes no sense.
Hand on.
So,
for.
I want to investigate
the cloth. All right, you can roll investigation.
That is an 18.
All right,
That's-
so
Oh,
you can tell the same sort of things he could tell. It looks like a very upper class garment. It does not look like something cheap like the commoners would wear. It looks like someone of wealthy stature brought this. It's a very unusual color, though. You don't see a lot of people going around in full crimson. And you can tell this is part of a larger garment due just to the size of it and the fact there's no seams whatsoever. So where this was ripped from, it was ripped, one, quite forcefully for it to rip without a seam, and two, it was ripped from a large surface. You can tell it seems like a struggle from how it was ripped, and there's a blood spatter on it. That's about all you can tell from it.
Judging from the many fights that I've been in, I would say that this was taken by force, and a quite large amount of it.
You just got your camera picture taken by force. Okay. Anywho, Frank looks over. He's like, "Yeah, that's not good. Crimson's never good. They don't believe me. All right, when I tell them.
Crimson blood or crimson color?
I mean, neither is good. One runs in the street, the other one runs the streets. Okay. Now, Crimson, they don't believe me when I tell them. All right, but there is a sect. I don't know if they're with the church. I don't know if they're an independent entity. I don't know, but they come around. They do things. You don't see people afterward. They're clothed, crimson hood, everything, the whole shindig. They look like they're out to trick or treat or something. I don't know what they're doing. They're doing something weird, all right? And they ain't normal, but it's not good. And you see he kind of spins a dial on the side of his glasses, goggles. And you see kind of the lenses moving in and out as he's spinning it. You know, it doesn't seem very technical. It seems like kind of like a gear. Kind of low tech, but he's spinning it and it's like focusing and unfocusing the lenses. He's like, "Yeah, that's definitely half elf blood. It does not look good. It does not look good."
That is very impressive. How do you know this?
And he goes, "The color. You can see the color's a little different. My eyes are a little better than most eyes. That's why I'm a detective."
I want to like put the cloth right on my face.
Just little blood splatters on your nose. And
I see no difference.
You're like, I'm pretty sure that's my friend Henry Stone's blood you got there. Don't wipe it on your nose, all right? We got to have something to give the wife to show her she's dead if we don't find a body, all right? Be sensitive, all right?
I apologize. I did not mean to hurt your feeble feelings, and I hand them the cloth.
He goes, I don't have feelings. And he just takes the coffee cup and throws it on the floor angrily. Teresa behind the counter is like, all right, get out of my coffee shop. You're breaking all the mugs. And she kind of just keeps pushing you guys in the back and pushes you out of the coffee shop.
And I contest her.
Roll a strength.
So that I see if I just don't move.
Yeah, roll a strength check.
12.
She got an 8. So, yeah, you're
She's sitting there like pushing.
Yeah,
like
she
just.
She tries to push you and just goes whoop right across your back, and then she tries to push you and it just like you hear her wrist crack a little bit. She's like,
When she hits me, I go, yes, that feels quite good. Could you get my glutes? And I turn around.
she just starts muttering and goes back to the kitchen. She has fully left. She's not talking to you anymore. She's ticked. But that's what you've learned so far.
Well,
Look at him and I go, I am Goo. And he's pointing at his jacket, but you understand him as, what was he wearing? Like, what was the god missing wearing?
well, you see,
I don't think you all asked.
I don't quite remember.
I don't think you all asked.
Oh, there was a red chariot, she said.
No, there was a chariot and there was.
I thought you said crimson
Well,
color.
all that.
Crimson was the color of that. Did I say Crimson Chariot?
No.
I think so.
I don't think so.
Well, I'm gonna look at Goo and I'm gonna be like, Goo and Tommy and I guess everybody else. I'm gonna be like, well, one thing that Teresa said to me was that he went to go and see some form of alchemist. What do you make of this?
An alchemist, you say?
So, let me keep going.
What alchemists are nearby?
I was like, the church normally snaps them up pretty quick. They're pretty useful for making magical apparatuses. The church treasures those quite heavily, tries to keep them from the populace. They think if you control the powerful items, you can control the people. They're not entirely wrong in that pursuit. Right. So, your lead so far at this point is you've discovered a bloody cloth in the sewers. You've discovered a strange color in the sewers, in the water. I don't believe you relayed that to them. I'll leave that up to your discretion. And you discovered there is some kind of alchemist. Frank thinks the church might be involved in the alchemists. What is your all's next move?
So, well, I rolled for a history check to
Yeah.
see if I know anything about the alchemist. Well, not team.
19. Okay. You would know of a alchemist at the church. You don't know a lot about her. You know a little bit. I'll pull something up here I have prepared because I didn't think we were going to do this as quick.
I'm gonna put my dice in dice jail.
You rolled what, 1 and 2, the whole
Yeah.
thing?
I rolled one natural 20 like right at the beginning, and it kind of like
All right.
dwindled from there.
So you would remember hearing that there are several alchemists at the church. You know that they are indeed, if someone shows alchemical prowess, they scoop them up for their unit. There are also alchemists in the mercantile district that you know of that operate more commercially, that are so large in their endeavors that the church does not scoop them up immediately, and they're pretty much safe to do whatever they want. But that's all you really know about alchemists.
So I tell all that to him,
Yeah.
for him to tell to everyone.
For brevity's sake, we'll just say everybody knows. Unless you want to goop it a bit. If you feel so inclined. Okay.
But for time's sake, I tell him,
And
he
I tell
tells
them.
everyone.
Okay. Do you want to tell anyone anything, or you just want to say we all know?
We all know now.
We all know.
All right. So you do know that there are some other alchemists you could potentially look into in the district. You could go look into ones at the church, or you could go look into the sewers again. What's your all's next move? Or
I
you
say
do-
we roll for it.
roll for it. All right. So let's see. 1, sewer. 2, church. 3 is, what were all the options?
You said the merchant.
The merchant
yeah.
district.
Merchants is here. You got it? Yes. I thought it
All right. And what do you guys want to make 4? You got anything else you want to do, or just roll it again, or?
Just if it's 3 or 4, we'll go to the merchant.
All right. Gotcha.
All right. Do you want me to roll it? Or you want to roll it?
Nah, knock
Your
yourself
idea.
out. You got it.
It's a 1.
It's a 1. All right, that is the sewers. So you guys want to go back to the sewers and investigate
Yeah.
where you found the bloody cloth?
Well, I believe the only tangible source of clues that we found is what you found, my friend. Lead the way. Where have you found this?
I go to the sewer and just
Yeah, just all the way down. You hear the goop hitting the ladder all the way down.
Is it like snaking?
Yeah, you're like you're like holding onto the ladder, sliding down, and just like your goop's just slapping against every rung of the ladder.
Disgusting.
It's also made the ladder quite slick. All right, so do you guys? What do you do?
Is there like a grate?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like a manhole cover.
How heavy would you say it is?
30, 40 pounds.
I just want to
Oh,
like.
he's
Yeah, I won't even make you roll a check on that.
I just want to pick it up and throw it behind me.
I will make you roll performance if you're chucking it.
Yeah. No, I'm not like necessarily throwing anything specific. I'm just gonna grab it and kind of like toss it behind me because I don't care where it goes.
All right. Well, okay. Roll strength then.
Oh my gosh. 9.
9. All right. It just kind of whizzes over, hits the dumpster, and bounces off and crushes the raccoon. You have fully murdered him.
Do I hear this?
Yeah, you just hear, and you hear this little from the distance raccoon chitters as they know their comrade has fallen. There's like.
I turn and I go, one has fallen this night. And I just want to jump down the manhole. I don't even use
Can
the
he
ladder.
fit in the manhole?
Oh, can I fit? That's a
How big around do you think you are?
Well, I'm
If he's
300
300
pounds,
pounds,
and I'm 9
9
foot
foot.
tall.
Like
Like-
by diameter,
well-
he's built.
We're gonna assume that the people that work on the sewers are probably bigger, muscular construction types. So
You
it's
can
probably
say, you
made.
can say he like fights this
Yeah.
way, like
It's made for
squirms
bigger
this way.
people. So you managed to scrape
How
in.
far down is it?
It's 15 feet.
I can tank a 15-foot fall.
All right.
Are we doing by the book rules or just the general 10-foot? If it's over 10 foot, you roll a dice.
Yeah. So what was the rule that you had at your table? We'll roll with that.
My type, if
Yeah.
it's over 10 foot, you roll. So 15 foot, you would roll 1d10.
1d10.
For
All right.
damage?
And then you roll a dex save. If you succeed, like how hard is it? Look on your DM screen.
Yeah.
There should be difficulties. It should be like 5, 10, 15.
Yeah.
Pick one, and then you roll a dex save.
All right.
If you
Yeah.
pass, you take 0 damage.
So go ahead and roll
If
for
you
me.
fail, he rolls.
After a dex save?
Yeah.
Wow.
Or acrobatics. Up
I'll
to
leave
the
it up to
DM.
your discretion, whichever one you
Yeah.
want, whichever's higher, I guess. Not looking to kill you.
Well, I
here.
have I have the same amount in dex and acrobatics.
Yeah,
Just roll
acrobatics.
then.
Yeah.
Add what the same
Add it.
modifier.
That's a
Oh, that's nice.
14 plus
Plus.
3.
Yeah, you're good. It was only 10. I gave you an easy one because it was
So-
only 15.
So I throw it, kill the raccoon. I go, cowabunga it is, and I just jump down and go.
Yeah. All right. What do you do?
I'm out of the way, by the way.
Just in a
I was about to ask that.
I'm in a pile of poop.
I walk over to the grate. I'm like,
Not yet. Usually the
I
ladders
can't
are
believe
on
I'm
an
about to do
elevator.
this. And I grab the, or is it like a ladder?
Yeah.
Yeah, I grab the ladder and I just slide down.
You slide. Okay, it's very slick. Roll acrobatics for me. Goop already slid down.
First roll of the night, baby.
Acrobatics?
She
Yeah.
gets like a natural 20.
Dirty 20, probably.
What did you roll?
19.
21.
21.
All
All
right.
right. You, I
Right
mean, you
above
get a little
30
extra
points.
speed from the goop, but you don't take it down. You just all the way down and land. Frank goes, "Dear God, you flipping morons!" and just goes down the ladder like a normal human being.
So which way did I finally fall? Like which way was it going? Left or right?
I believe it was to the right.
Okay.
Now, I would like to ask, how dark is it down here?
There's no
You
sources
should,
of light.
you should have dark vision. as
I
an
do have
accident.
dark vision, but he doesn't because he's a human.
Yeah, you occasionally see a little spot of light from like
Another
a
grade.
water. What do they call it on the sewers? The thing on the side of the street where the water goes in. I don't know what they
Yeah.
call them. Grates. We'll call them grates.
Sidewalk grate.
Well,
Yeah, sidewalk grates, and occasionally little tiny spots of lights from the edges of the manhole
Well,
handles.
so what I'm
It's
going
not
to
very
do
well lit.
is while we're down there, I'm going to take my hat off. I'm going to cast light on my hat,
Yeah.
and I'm just going to put it back on my head.
Right. So you're just glowing. I also will say it is about 1 o'clock now. It was noon before. We've had about an hour.
Yeah.
pass. And we, I guess, start walking to the right.
But first, because I'm back down here, the water's still glowing.
Yes.
I want to like put my hand just like kind of in it to like
Your
see.
hand? Okay.
Just to
He
see.
doesn't necessarily have a hand. He's more of like a
What do you bring
glob.
inside him?
I want to put my glob in it.
My hand.
I want to put my tendril in it.
Roll a Constitution save for me.
Oh.
Oh God.
Wait, is it like poison or something? Because ooze are immune to poison.
Go ahead and roll for me.
What was it? Con save?
Yeah.
7.
All right. A small little plant grows out of your goop. Just a little tree branch with like a little flower on the top.
Pull my hand and I start shaking rapidly.
All right. It flies off. I'm gonna have you roll the hit.
Do I see this happen?
Yes.
I'm like, my boy.
To hit? Like,
Yeah.
so just straight roll or
Just-
add my debt?
Just straight roll.
18.
18. All right. Does an 18 hit your AC? All right. A tree branch hits you in the face. You take 1 point of damage.
Ow.
Well,
Covered
actually,
in goop.
I'll give you. You can roll a dex save if you want to try and dodge it.
Dex save?
Yeah. What you get?
It has to be an 18,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah. So it goes worse for you because you try to dodge it, pokes you in the eye. You take 2 points of damage.
Nice.
You bloody twat.
So yeah, you have seen that there is something, some sort of plant magic with this water.
You see, if your physique was as glorious and matchless as mine, an apparatus such as that size would never hurt.
And I just like pat him on the back real hard.
Don't change the small number, change the big.
So alright.
You're a real pain in the. Not that.
What are you talking about?
You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Everyone loves me.
That is a lie from me.
Yeah, don't.
Let's keep it PG, my friend.
Yeah,
PG,
don't.
my friend.
Alright. So what's your next moves?
I'm gonna stealthily start following the direction.
Alright.
Staying on the non-glowy liquid.
Alright. So Frank looks at you. He's like, "Is this the direction of the cloth? Or, what are we doing?"
I am goop. And I
He's like,
just.
Alright. I don't know why I ask questions to the sentient sludge over here. And he
That's
just
a
starts following you.
25 for stealth.
God
You
damn
try to
it.
disappear?
18 plus 7.
You don't want Frank to see you? You want to leave the group?
Oh no, I'm stealth. Like, they can see me.
Oh.
But if there's any enemies,
You're scouting
I'm
ahead.
yes.
Alright.
I'm just gonna
Welcome to the rogue.
barrel on through like axe
Light on your head.
axe in hand, giant
Is
light
it-
on my
like
head.
I'm being like very stealthy, like you can barely see me, and then he's just, you know, the new that meme of the
Yeah.
the skull,
Oh,
the
Charles
skull
or
and
whatever.
Ron.
What is
Yeah,
his name or whatever.
he's just like.
Yeah, I'm just like strutting through this.
Alright. And Frank's following behind. He's like the discretion of an
are you
orangutan.
doing,
Very
Tony?
nice.
I don't know what that is.
It's got a butt as big as you, and it's about as loud.
A butt.
Don't make it weird.
I shall not. I will take that as a compliment, seeing as how nothing else could be said about me.
I don't do compliments, and he just walks after him.
What do I see around the corner?
Just turns, and it's another hallway.
Nothing new investigation wise. Like any more cloth, any more blood.
What does it smell like in here?
It smells quite pungent. It smells how you would expect a sewer to smell, but there's also kind of a earthy, fresh soil scent. You discern that's coming from the water, because as you get closer to the water, it's a little stronger. But it doesn't smell good. You know that septic old person smell?
Yeah.
Like that.
Yuck.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Yeah, I don't like that either. You walk around the corner, more of the same thing.
Is there no end to this accursed place?
Alright.
Someone as my stature should not be here. I am not qualified for such loathsome acts of being in literal the lowest low. We are in the sewers of the Undercity.
Goo just looks at you and goes, I am Goo. And then he's saying, I grew up here.
Well, it is quite pungent. Be lucky you don't have a nose, my gooey friend.
I am Goo.
Franco's, I wish I didn't have a nose. So you guys keep walking around the corner.
I'm looking, like, each thing we do, I'm looking.
All right. So, roll perception for me.
All of us?
I don't have him because he's furthest.
Alright, I got you.
Perception.
Yeah.
21.
You see something move in the water a little bit.
It's an alligator.
So do you?
I'm gonna stop.
Yeah.
Still being stealthy, and I look at you, and like stealth, I'm like, wave to get your attention, and then point at what I see moving.
And you indeed see something just moving around in the water a little bit. What do you guys do?
I'm gonna look at you and be like, my friend, shall I?
Go ahead.
I take my axe out and wield it with both hands, and I just want to kind of like see if I can time it right
Yeah.
and hit whatever's in the
All
water.
right. Roll to hit. Actually, roll with disadvantage since it's swimming in the water. So, go ahead and roll a second time.
Roll
See what you
again.
get.
See if you get worse.
Yeah, I did.
What'd you get?
I got an 8 to hit.
We're gonna say it narrowly misses, and out of the water hops a goblin that is completely covered in flowers and tree branches, almost growing like armor. And he looks at you, goes, "Oh my god, it hurts!" And he just swings at you. And does a 15 hit?
It does not.
It does not hit. He slaps you with a tree branch. It does nothing.
The tree branch breaks across me, and I'm like, what are you doing down here?
And you can see, like, even though he can speak, there's not much going on upstairs.
Can I grapple him?
He's about to attack again. Yeah, you can attempt to grapple.
I would like to attempt to grapple.
Yeah, if this fails, we're gonna roll initiative.
Okay.
But I'll give you that shot because it's fun. Alright. What'd you get?
Oh, that's a
Add your
16.
He got a 9.
So I just grab him by the throat and I pick him up and I'm like, what are you doing down here, creature?
And he's like, "The plants!" And then he just starts swinging at you because you're not holding his arm.
Branches are just breaking across me.
Yeah.
Just like, I turn to Frank and I'm like, what do you make of this?
He was like, "I say we put it down."
I'm like, all right. And I just, from like 8 foot up, I just drop him.
Alright, he lands on the ground. We're going to roll a save, see if he takes any damage. He does not. He rolled a 15, and that is exactly what he needed to not take damage. So having him roll moderate. So have everybody roll initiative at this point.
Oh, he's actually 5 minutes?
Yeah. Alright, Dalton, you are top of the order.
So, does it see me?
Does it see you? It does not. You are stealthily. You can get a stealth bonus.
So I get 1d6, sneak attack on whatever. So I pulled my, I'm gonna say I have the falchion out.
Okay.
So I'm gonna roll the hit. That is a 15. 10 plus 5.
That definitely hits, yeah.
Okay. 1d8.
So, wait, he's attacking the goblin right now?
Yeah.
So that's
The tree boy.
just. Oh,
Nice. I think he's about to kill it.
Alright, so how much do you do?
well,
Leave bonus.
so 14.
14? Alright, we'll roll with that. I'll check it afterward. I think that's how it goes. So 14. 14 murders.
Cold
as you just.
My falchion just comes out,
Yeah.
and I just want to, like, I don't know where he's standing,
Yeah.
but just goes right through his chest. Just,
It goes through his chest. Before he dies, he lets out this guttural scream, and he's like, "Ah, the plants!" 2 more goblins hop out of the water.
Nice.
And they are also covered in armor. They let out the same exact scream, and they go, "For the plant queen!"
for the plant queen.
The plant queen.
Yeah.
Are you hearing this, Tony?
I'm gonna use my movement to go back into the shadows, and my bonus action I'm gonna use to hide.
Okay, yeah, you are.
So that is a 18 for stealth.
Yeah, you were very hidden. Alright, next in the order, it would be you, Presley. Old Tony. Tony
Let's
trigger
see.
finger. Gonna pull it for the first time.
Oh,
Sir,
pull it.
I get what
let's pull a trigger on one of these. Dobby boy.
Let's
So
trigger
you're
him.
attacking. Roll to hit. What do you get?
Got a.
How are we doing?
13.
13. That barely hits. Yeah.
Wow.
They're pretty armored with plant and tree bark and various vines. So how much damage are you going to do to this boy?
Let's see. 4 damage. Nice.
4
4
damage.
piercing damage.
All right, and let's see here. Oh yeah, I didn't.
Wait, what's happening? Are you dying? Oh, are we flipping this?
No, I'm just.
Oh.
You guys have a rough sketch because there's multiple goblins.
Hit the wiver.
So this is the green sludge here. This is Goblin 1. And Presley just attacked. Goblin 2. The other side of you guys, and you are all in the middle here.
Specifically because we shanked up our video recording tonight. Our wonderful dungeon master has drawn us a map.
Yes.
It looks like a sewer.
Basically, they're in the sewers. We've already described it. There's sludge. They're on a sidewalk by the sludge. It's dark. Balthramar is literally glowing like a Christmas tree. Balthramar is literally glowing. The area is illuminated. There is a goblin that has hopped out on either side. Both are completely covered in bark armor, held together by vines. And they've got a little flower on their head. It's so sweet.
Like in the center, like
Yeah, it's like a little daisy just coming out. You know, kind of like a Pikmin. And, all right, Preston, what did you roll to hit? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I was asking you to roll for damage. You already said you hit. How much did you get?
Oh, I got 4.
4 damage. All right. Sorry, you circle back there. All right. So yeah, he takes the hit. And is that the end of your turn, or anything else you gonna do?
Are we all like grouped together? Like kind of like have each other's backs?
Yeah, you are in a group in the middle, surrounded by the 2 goblins and the sludge. All right. After that would be Frank.
Frank got a higher score than Balthramar?
Frank rolled a nat 1 to hit. He pulls out his revolver and goes, go back in the water, and shoots right in between his feet. And he goes, that was intentional. And that ends Frank's turn.
Nice shot.
Next is going to be the Goblin 1, the one that you already have damaged a little bit. He goes, join us! And attempts to grapple you. I'm going to have you roll a strength check. He's trying to push you in
Is
the
this
water.
a strength saving throw?
Yes.
Perfect. Oh my god, that's a natural 1.
Oh no. He rolled a 2. You were that close.
Why am I sucking?
You see the roots on his back seem to spring to life, stabbing into the floor, and he uses them like appendages to push himself forward with a surprising amount of force you did not expect to come from this little goblin. So he actually pushes you, and he just grabs you and shoves you towards the water. And I'm going to, let's see, have you roll a dexterity save to see if you fall in. I'll give you another shot here.
There you go.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. You start to wobble a little bit and you don't fall. He angrily punches the ground and that ends his turn. He's like, join the queen!
Like, I join no queen. I am the ruler of my own.
And now it is your turn.
I'm gonna swing at him.
Swing at him. Alright, roll the hit.
That's a natural 20.
There you go.
I'm not even gonna roll.
Double
You hit him. How much you hit him for?
Well, it's double my damage, and I'm using 2 hands, so it's 1d12
Alright.
with my axe. That's a 6.
So you double it. So you did 12?
No, 3. 3. I rolled a 3, but doubling is a 6.
Plus your proficiency.
Gotcha.
Plus my proficiency?
Isn't that how we're doing?
Yes.
Yeah.
So it would be.
Because that's
It
what I
would
did.
be.
Yeah, because you're
9.
proficient with your axe.
It'd be 9.
Well, wouldn't you double the proficiency? Because you get your initial number and then double it, yeah? Or
Yeah,
you just
so
double it?
what,
Oh,
what's
and
your
then it's a
number?
12.
Yeah, so you
Yeah.
do 12. So, yeah, you insta-murk him. How you gonna do this?
Is it? Are you like wood splitting? Like,
Yeah, like he tries to push me back in the water.
What is this about a queen, you say?
And I just raise my axe above my head.
Hell, the Black Queen!
I raise my axe above my head and just go.
yeah, great answer.
Yeah, you split him right down the middle. It makes sort of like, you know that sound when people hit lumber and it splits in half, like clunk sound? But there's also a slight squish to it.
Yeah. That was oddly satisfying and disgusting.
The vines just start wriggling around and the green liquid's also seeping out of him. It is now the other goblin's turn. He goes, "They're all dying!"
As
And
my bonus action before
God.
my turn ends, I
Yeah.
just want to use my cantrip, Healing Hands, and just put myself back up to full health.
A-okay. Alright. Let's see. That makes it the last goblin's turn. He goes, "They're all dead!" And he starts running. Like full on sprinting away down the corridor further ahead.
Like
So-
away from where we're going, or
Yeah,
towards where we're
Towards where you're going, yeah.
going? Okay.
He's booking it.
So he's running away.
Yeah, he's running away.
I'm gonna take my reaction
Okay.
and throw the gooper.
Alright.
Wait, how far is he from me?
He's not very far. He's like 15 feet at most. He's very slow.
15 feet. My pseudopod
Yeah.
comes out 10 feet with the gooper in the end. I'm gonna try to stab him like a
Alright.
scorpion.
Yeah, roll to hit. It's not going to be a very high number that you have to get.
That is a 14.
Yeah, you hit his AC as well. With that, how much you going to do here? Does it do the same amount of damage thrown?
I'm not throwing it.
Oh, you can reach that far and stab him.
Yeah, I put
Okay.
it on my pseudopod. I'm
Yeah.
aiming like a scorpion.
You Mr. Gadget this point.
Yeah.
Okay, how much does he take?
Well, proficiency. So 4 plus 2 plus 6. So 12.
That is literally exactly
I'm
how much
hidden.
health these boys have.
Okay.
Uh,
I'm hidden, so I get sneak attack.
The dagger just skewers right through his head.
I
Clean.
just wanted scorpion. Like y'all just see my falchion out, and then you just see pseudopod scorpion like stab right through the back of his head, and
Look, nice one.
then it comes back.
Yeah, you just see a hole in his head. There's goop and vines like in the hole, and he's just gurgling, going, and just falls into the sledge. So they're all gone. There is, I think only one of them is left outside the water, split clean in half by you. So you guys can either go in the direction he was going, investigate, anything you'd like.
I'd like to investigate if there's any remnants on my axe and what this guy is like pretty much made of.
It's more of the same green sludge, and you can see little twigs are starting to come out of it.
Of his axe.
Are there twigs growing out of my axe?
They're just growing out of the goop. You could brush them off if you
Well,
like.
I take a cloth out of my pocket and I kind of like just clean the blade of my axe off, and I throw the cloth into the sludge water.
You just see like a little like flower just shoots out of the water and like floats away with the cloth.
I'm gonna keep going the way that one was going.
Yeah.
Go like around him because I don't want any more plants touching me, and stealthily like look around the corner or wherever's next.
Gotcha. It comes to a spot. There is a solid wall, sort of a dead end, and there is a grate, but it is in the sludge, letting the water flow through. And there is a ladder with a manhole cover at this point.
Okay. For me being raised or growing up in the sewers,
Yeah.
do I like know the layout? Like, do I see any like secret like thieves doors?
So there are no thieves' doors on this. You can tell it's very tightly secured. The only opening would be if you attempted to squeeze through the grate in the sludge, which
I don't wanna do that.
you've already seen what happens in the sludge. Yeah, you join the green.
You will no longer be dark.
So,
You'll be flowery.
so this is a dead end. So I'm gonna
Well,
walk
there
back.
is a grate going up.
Yeah. Well, I meant like the tunnel wise.
But we can't get to the grate unless we go through the sludge.
No.
No, there is like
There's a manhole cover going up,
Yeah.
and then there's one of the
And this-
grates in the sludge
Okay, I got you.
And this is the direction the goblin was running.
Towards the.
towards where I was going.
So we're like
So
at this
they
point.
might be
we'd-
coming out of the grate,
At this point, we would still just be following. Like I'd just be following.
Yeah.
Goo.
unless we want to go the opposite way and see where it leads.
So the only two directions you have now are up or back.
Well
We're
then.
already headed up, so.
I mean, I can squeeze through real quick and see where we're at.
All right.
The manhole.
Yeah.
All right.
Look, would you like to do some recon for us, brother?
I want to like climb up the ladder and just pop my head out like a Kaleidoscope. Just.
You've actually went quite far, because instead of going through the winding passageways of the city, the seemingly interweb streets, you've made a direct shot to this location. You've arrived at the church. You can see there is a grand cathedral with a large...
So we're outside. We're not inside.
So to speak, yeah, you're in the outside of the city. There is a mosaic window of the sun. There's a large statue of the goddess holding up another sun, kind of flat panel. And it's got, those kind of like wisps that come out to a point, and they're kind of curved, like you see on a lot of like Hispanic murals of the sun, how they would present it, kind of South America-wise. And yeah, giant Gothic cathedral behind it.
I want to come back down and look at him and go, I am Goop. And tell him we're at the church.
Yeah.
Ah, yes, I'm very familiar with this place. Well, Frank, shall we make our ascent?
And he goes, yeah, where we at?
We are right below the church of the sun goddess.
And he goes, oh, great, the church. The church. And he starts climbing up first. He gets to the top, sort of shoves the manhole cover to the side halfway.
I won't follow.
I follow.
Alright. You hit your head on the manhole cover because you only pushed it halfway. That was all Frank needed to get out.
Yeah.
What do you do at this point? Yeah.
It hits me. It hits me in the head. I kind of look up. I put my hand on it, and then I kind of just like throw it, and then like slide across the pavement like a hockey puck.
Alright, this is in the middle of the street, directly in front of the church, the front entrance. So it's quite crowded, and you have pushed it right into the main whatever the word is, the main kind of traversal point of the street.
Does it like
I'm gonna be roll a strength check.
Does it like ricochet go ding 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 ding?
Like a pinball machine.
That is a 14.
Yeah, it nails the wheel of a wagon of a very rich, aristocratic-looking wagon. The wheel splits in half, and it just kind of goes kirk, and then starts dragging behind the horse. And you just hear someone angrily yelling from on the inside as it drags around the corner.
I finally I don't see this happen. I just stick my head up and I'm like, finally some fresh air.
Alright.
I am Goo. And I just point at the wagon.
I look and I'm like, they should get their wheel fixed.
Yeah, you see a lady come out. She's looking around, trying to figure out who did this, and she's like, I hope you have insurance!
Still glowing. My hat's like...
She's like, what are you, some kind of traffic cone?
Traffic cone, nonsense. I'm Balthramar.
Why are you in the sewer? Are you a sewer worker?
Do I look like a sewer worker to you?
You look like a caution code. And she's like, I'm gonna file this with the city. Your boss is gonna hear about this.
And she like angrily walks back to her wagon.
The day that I take orders from a snarling little woman will be the day that I revoke my own life. I just walk in.
You see this 300-pound aristocratic woman turns around and she's like, did you say little? Bats her eyelashes at you.
Yeah. No thanks. Listen, I'm not one for prostitutes.
She's and just like stumbles back to her wagon. Being just an elderly aristocratic woman, she can't really fight back, so there's nothing she can do. She goes back to her wagon. So what do you guys do? Do you approach the church at this point, or investigate the area?
Well,
I'm guessing he's going first.
I'm just gonna like walk to the church.
All right.
I've been here before. I know.
I'm just gonna like follow, but like kind of Assassin's Creed, like stay on the sides, just sneakily follow.
All right. Yeah, Frank goes, I'm not going in there. I don't get along with the crowd, so to speak. We don't see eye to eye. And he goes and he sits on the fountain. He starts to light up a cigarette or something. You see above him, where you're kind of watching that direction, Balthramar, that the sun that the goddess is holding is suddenly kind of glinting and reflecting at you, like there's a light in the very center, and you just see the very centerpiece just kind of falls out and lands right beside the fountain. So, do anything with that?
Yeah. I see this happen. I'm gonna go.
I believe you've broken the fountain.
I'm gonna like walk up and like stick my hand in the fountain and like pull, like grab whatever had fallen out of it.
So you pick it up, and it is a smaller version of the same sun that she's holding up, and that's on the window. And you see there's actually a small chain coming off of it. It's sort of an amulet. You can tell it's a magical item. You have no idea what it does.
I'm like, And I look at Frank and I'm like, does this belong to you?
He goes, I wouldn't wear something from the church. Too blingy, too snobby for me.
Blingy and snobby. Is that how you see this? I see this as a symbol of pride. I put it around my neck.
Alright, you feel a slight, just like, energy, but you still have no idea what it does. It doesn't feel bad, though.
I'm like,
Can I walk up and
Yeah.
like look at it, investigate, see if I can figure out what it is?
Yeah, you're welcome to.
Investigation, that's a 21.
Dang, okay. You know more about me than I do.
You can tell that this is a very old, very ornate magical amulet that is most definitely tied to the church. It looks like it has not been disturbed in a very long time. Like it's been up there for a while. This is not something that's being actively used. Not even something that's might not be known about.
Would I? No, like with my history with the church, would I kind of like know what it symbolizes?
The sun is just the representation they use a lot of times for the goddess's light. She's a light goddess. She's not actually tied to the sun itself.
Right.
It's just how they see her, portray her. She's cool with that. So this is seemingly a symbol of her power, but you don't know what that means.
Cool.
Yeah.
So
I put it on like, makes me feel warm and fuzzy.
Yep. And
I am Goo. And he says, it's magical, that's why.
Well, whatever magic it is, I like it.
all right. So at this point, you're still outside the church. Are you guys still proceeding in, possibly?
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to like tuck the amulet like inside
All right.
of my shirt.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Like you can still see like the gold chain,
Yeah.
but like the amulet itself is like inside my vest.
Gotcha. All right, and that is where we're going to leave off for the night. If you are curious what's about to happen next, what's about to happen when they go in the church, and want to see some more of the mysteries of the Windless City, feel free to join us next time. These should be weekly episodes, and this is going to be our stopping point. I have been Andrew, your DM for the night.
I am Dalton. I am Goo. I'm gonna say Goo.
My name is Eric, and I play Balthramar.
My name is Presley, and I play Tony.
And that is going to be where we end the night. Thank you for listening.